Hello, I'm Dr. Anil Kumar. I'm a psychiatrist by profession. I work as Associate Professor in the Department of Psychiatry at Kasturba Medical College, Manipal. Today I'm going to talk to you and address about the impact of stress on mental health. So, what is stress? This is a very common term. All of us are aware. It is so ubiquitous that nobody can claim that I am free from stress or I am devoid of stress or I have eliminated stress. So stress can affect anybody and everybody. It's such a wide topic, I can talk to you about stress the whole day. Coming to the definition, it is natural response of the human being for the challenges and the struggles faced in one's life. So to understand more about stress, now let's distinguish between stress and stressor. Stressor is an event or a trigger that actually causes stress. For example, in the life of a student, now he has to write an exam. Exam is the stressor. And on the day of exam, when he approaches the exam hall, he may feel jittery, or he may have some tremors in his hand, or he may feel panicky and has palpitations. So these are all the manifestations of stress. So stressor causing stress. Another example can be a corporate who has got targets and now he has to present his monthly target in a meeting. Now, whether he has achieved targets or not, on the day of meeting, he may develop gastritis, vomiting. Okay? These are all the manifestations of the stress, and the stressor is his target. Stress has an impact on almost each and every organ system and part of the body. The most important thing for us to understand is that stress is caused by stress hormones. We all have heard of these two hormones. We have heard of adrenaline, the adrenaline rush. So this is one stress hormone and the other is cortisol. Okay, so now what happens is there can be two types of stress reactions. One is short term and the other one long term. In the short term stress reaction, we call it as fight or flight response. Say when we encounter a mad dog suddenly chasing us, either we have to escape or we have to fight with it. Now this is caused by the sudden adrenaline rush that happens in the body. So this is an acute or short-term reaction to the stress. Now another hormone responsible for stress is cortisol. With cortisol, what happens is it's a steroid, and steroid suppresses the immunity. When your body has excess endogenous, that is inbuilt steroid, it lowers your immunity. And so say today you had test or some exam and you read a lot, tomorrow morning you wake up with a sore throat. This is because your immunity has impaired because of this excess steroid that has produced because of your stress. So these are the short-term manifestations that we can come across because of stress. Long-term, again, both adrenaline and cortisol are responsible for various types of disorders, both physical and psychiatric. Say kidney disorders, heart disorders, respiratory problems, all these, even hypertension, diabetes, both these hormones in the long run, because of the chronic stress, they can cause these kinds of disorders. Not only these physical, even depression, psychosis, anxiety disorders are some of the anxiety disorders that are responsible because of these stress hormones that are released due to stress. So, brain is the organ in the body that first perceives stress, and not the entire brain. It is a tiny part in the brain called hypothalamus that first gets the stress. So what this hypothalamus does is it gets excited and it excites another very important part in the brain called pituitary gland. Most of you might have heard of this gland. So this pituitary gland in turn gets excited, and this excites another gland on top of the kidneys. This is called adrenal gland. When this kind of a stress keeps on happening in the long run, where hypothalamus keeps getting excited, which in turn excites pituitary gland, which in turn excites the adrenal gland, and it is this adrenal gland that produces adrenaline as well as cortisol. So when these two are produced in excess, especially the cortisol reduces the most important hormone in the brain that regulates depression or that regulates mood. This is called serotonin. So when the serotonin level comes down because of excessive steroids, that is the cause of depression. And this is how we can link stress to depression or in fact any other psychiatric disorders like anxiety disorders or psychosis. So stress can cause all these disorders, but the good news is this stress can be handled, so it can be treated. So there are different ways that we can actually positively cope with the stress. Some of the simple ways are that you can have something called deep breathing. It's a controlled way of breathing which immediately regulates your stress. We can also practice different types of meditations like the mindfulness meditation, which involves focusing on one's breath. We can also have a healthy lifestyle involving a regulated exercise, food habits, and other habits. So improving your lifestyle and then improving your social network. You always feel like when you have some stress, you need to discuss with somebody. So enhance your social network, have more friends, and keep in good terms with your relatives, family, so that whenever you have any stress, you can always discuss with them. And then time management. If you actually manage your time, you can become more organized, more sophisticated, and you can become more studious. That way, an organized life gives you more confidence. So time management is another essential principle. And then hobbies. Always having some good hobbies makes you relaxed. So cultivating some constructive hobby is another important way of coping with stress. Finally, if nothing is helping you, then the last option is definitely consult a mental health professional who can advise you what can be done at a more professional level rather than what you are doing on your own. When you consult a psychiatrist, there are lots of technically evidence-based therapies that will help you coming out of stress. But then finally, I would say that always be positive. Whenever there is negativity in your brain, you challenge it. Try to be positive and don't keep yourself busy. Life has to be enjoyed. We should always balance our professional life with our family life and our personal life. And spend time on yourself, on your life. Your personal life means that you can always engage in good, healthy practices like yoga or meditation or going out and meeting friends, socializing. And whatever the healthy aspects in your life that you can inculcate, you need to do everything. Or you can even have a pet. So pets are always therapeutic. Any of these things. So don't worry, stress is always there. It's always a part of our life. It always continues to be with us. But then there is also a solution to stress. Whenever you still are not able to handle your stress, psychiatrists are always there to help you. Thank you.